Hi Everglades students, this is Rebecca Amesbury Batisto. I am your speech instructor for SPC 1017, and I know that most of you are not looking forward to this class. I get that. But we are going to make it fun, we're going to keep it lighthearted, and you're going to learn a lot. And all of the things that you learn you'll be able to use in any kind of sales. If you want to open your own business, this will be very helpful. If you ever have to give a speech to your boss, asking for a raise maybe. If you ever have to do any negotiations with your spouse or your kids, trying to get them to go to bed, I'm going to give you helpful tips to negotiate your way through things. And if you ever want a job, we're going to talk about what to say and how to say things in interviews. And then the final thing that we'll talk about is how to give speeches in certain settings. So we'll talk about introduction speeches, which are always kind of awkward because you have to talk about yourself. But we'll get through those first. We will talk about motivational speeches, how to persuade people of things. We'll talk about demonstrations, so how to show people what to do and how to do it, give them the steps. And we'll talk about ceremonial speeches, which are the speeches that you give at a wedding or a eulogy, for example. And most of the time, those speeches pop up somewhere in your life. I wanted to give this introduction speech of myself so that you can kind of get to see me. I know it's weird giving a class or taking a class online because you feel like you don't really know the students, but you really are going to get to know each other in this class, and you'll get to know me a lot too. So one of the things that you're going to have to do for your first speech is an introduction speech. So I'm going to ask you to give me 3 things that are interesting about you. So now, just to give you an example, I'll show you 3 things that are interesting about me. The first thing, I'm from England. I was born and raised in England. I moved onto a sailboat and lived on a sailboat for 12 years, sailing around the world. My parents were a little bit crazy. And we actually stopped in the Bahamas and moved to the Bahamas when I was about 16. I came to the States to go to university. Second most interesting thing, maybe not most interesting, but second interesting thing about me is I went to university in upstate New York. I went to study journalism. I wanted to be a field reporter. I actually wanted to be a war correspondent. And then when I realized that the idea of being shot at wasn't that great, I decided to stick with school. I found that I was good in school. I wasn't good in high school because I never studied. But once I got to college, I was really quite good at school, and I loved it. So after doing my journalism degree, I came down to Florida, and I studied rhetoric, which is the art of persuasion. And rhetoric is something that was found by Aristotle, so it kind of lent itself towards speech. And from there, I went through different marketing positions in different companies. I ended up working for AutoNation, which is the world's largest automotive retailer, giving speeches and teaching them how to give speeches to the media, how to sell cars, all kinds of different speaking gigs that they were going through. And then I went through the mix. I ended up actually doing quite a few different marketing pieces for the US Army, going through my career, and then decided to start my own thing. So now I have a marketing and communication business. It's called Abask Marketing. Feel free to look it up. And we do speech consultation, we do content consultation, we help people put their marketing together and make sure that it's persuasive and so it's a lot of fun. That's my day job. It's long hours. Most of the time I'm either at work or I'm at home with my 2 kids, or I'm sitting in front of the TV at night grading papers. So I'm never stopping. I'm always busy, probably just like you. And the last thing that I wanted to tell you about was the reason that I'm throwing this ball around. And that reason, she's sitting right next to me, so I'm going to ask her to stand up. Come. Hopefully you can get to see her. I'm going to have to pick her up and she's not little. My third and final interesting thing is a dog. This is Wembley. She's a good dog. She's a black lab, and we are currently looking for a little sister for her. We're hoping for either a beagle or a mutt, any little sister that is going to be good for her and good for my kids and good for me. So that's 3 things that are interesting about me. I'm really looking forward to getting to know each of you. If you happen to be on the Boca campus, I'm also going to be teaching this semester in Boca, so I'm really going to be busy this semester rather, and I'm just excited about it. This is my 4th year teaching at Everglades, something like that, and I started teaching at FAU, so when I was doing my master's degree, that was a long time ago, like almost 20 years ago, so it was a long time. I've been teaching this class for a long time, but I still love it, so that's good. And I hope that some of my passion for public speaking will rub off on you. Please don't be too nervous. Please keep an open mind. I really look forward to meeting each of you and getting to know you a little better. Bye!